So I broke 100 hours played yesterday for this game. It's been out since September 3rd, so it's not too bad. Basically, just playing it about 5 times a week, roughly 6 to 8 hours per stream, roughly, and going there. Yes, the 100-hour playthrough review. So, let's see. I've actually never done a review before, at least recorded like this. So this may be a little awkward and that kind of stuff, but again, I'm kind of new to this kind of stuff. So why am I doing it? Because this game deserves some type of review, simply because of, I put a lot of time into Kingmaker, still am here and there, up over 1,000 hours into that game, I believe. So we're up to 100 hours here, and I think I might be halfway through it right now. But I figured it's time to just talk about it a little bit more and see how it goes. So, first things first, we'll just talk about graphics. There's definitely an improvement in the graphics over Kingmaker by a long shot, mainly in the way the characters look. They look better generally. They're more customizable in their appearances. The game just feels crisper graphic-wise overall. The effects are about roughly the same as far as on the weapons and stuff. That's not really any real difference. The main difference is like in the detail and the armor, and just an overall crispness of the characters, the way they look, all the graphics in general, not just them, but just the environments too. They just look better. So I think that's a definitely improvement. Obviously they're not realistic quality, but they're still better than they were. And if you play Kingmaker, if you do side-by-side screenshots, you'll definitely notice it. So, camera is nice. They implemented the rotating camera like this, and then at the beginning of the stream, I was playing around with a mod that allows the camera to zoom out farther in, and then you can actually tilt the camera, so you can actually make it so you're almost level with the ground, that kind of stuff too. I turned it off though because it's not very stable, I guess is the right word. The camera doesn't stay locked where you keep it, and I don't know if that's related to the what the mod is doing there, but not really technically part of this review, but it's more a review of the mod itself. But again, the camera, just adding this in is huge, and it's very necessary too. And once you start playing the game, and once you get into the various dungeons and stuff, you're going to see that being able to rotate the camera like this is huge, because you can't do this in Kingmaker, and it was an issue in some places, but here it's not. Just being able to rotate the camera is huge. So you got that. Sounds are good. They're basically the same. As far as quality goes, a lot of there's some repeat sounds in there, of course. I'm sure that's a normal thing to do when you're moving from similar games, that kind of deal. So it's not shocking there. But the sound is usually pretty good. Soundtrack is amazing, just like Kingmaker was. It's probably even better than Kingmaker. But other than that, the quality of the sounds, I would say, is pretty much the same. Music is still, of course, like I said, is great too. Now, one criticism though, the customized voices you use for your characters, it's the same voices from Kingmaker. They did not introduce any new voices that I noticed. It looks like it's the same batch, which is disappointing. I was hoping for more, in all honesty, more types, that kind of stuff, or at least change them up a little bit. But it sounds like the exact same ones they use in Kingmaker. Not huge deal, but still a little disappointing. Then the UI itself. This is basically this portion of the game. The equipment manager, they added some slots. Like there's a face slot now. Or wait a minute. No, the face slot was here last time, wasn't it? Because you could wear... No, actually it is new. Because the other ones, they were goggles, but they went on your head. So this face slot is new. This is your armor slot. This is your... What do they call it? Shirt? Are they calling it a shirt slot? I'm not sure, but that's what it is. So you can actually have armor and shirt on at the same time. All this stuff is the same. Bracers the same. Boots. They changed the location of this stuff. This is where your weapons go. So you still have your 4 groups. They just moved them around. In Kingmaker, they're down below, but now they've moved them up here. And what this actually allows them to do is stretch out this portrait session, or this portrait area, so they have more space to work with to give for the characters and stuff. So it's a nice change. Not bad. mainly aesthetic changes here. Nothing a big deal, but it's still pretty much the same system. There's some still criticisms like healing potions. It'd be nice if you could use multiple of these at once, or use a hotkey to use these, because right now you still have to right click and use, which is annoying. I wish they would update this so you just click on them and uses them, or double click on them and it uses them, or able to use multiple ones at once. Like, oh, okay, I want to drink 10 of these so that I don't have to click them 10 times to heal up. It'd be nice to have that kind of feature in here, but it's not here right now, and I haven't found a mod to do it either. So anyway, not a huge deal, but the interface overall is a little different, mainly aesthetics, but it still functions the same way. Dun, dun, dun. Now the characters. So the characters themselves. So the big deal here is 3 new races: the Damphir, the Kitsune, and the Oread. It was good to see new races. The Gimpy here is a Damphir, although because he's a lich, his skin tone and hair have changed colors already. Originally, as a Damphir, I had him with pale skin, mostly white, and his hair was all white. But because he's a lich and he's gone through somewhat of a partial transformation, his skin color and hair color changed already. So he doesn't look the same as he did when we created him, which is nice too. But that's related to the mythic path, we'll get into here very shortly. And as far as classes go, they introduced 9 new classes: Arcanist, Blood Rager, Cavalier, Hunter, Oracle, which Gimpy is, Shaman, Scalds, War Priests, Witches, and Hell Knights. Hell Knights, it's right there, Signifier. So there's those. Did they? Oh, they might have introduced some other specialists. I can't remember. I think those were the base classes, the prestige classes. I think there's a couple others in there too. I think I missed out on those. But again, the only real experience I have with these classes are the ones through the characters currently here, and of course Gimpy playing the Oracle, which is new, which is basically a divine sorcerer for all intents and purposes, although not really the same. There's no bloodlines or that kind of stuff, but you do still get special abilities related to being an Oracle and that kind of stuff, and spells work the same way as sorcerers, and so you have charges instead of 10 million spells to choose from and only a couple of charges. Instead, you only have a couple of spells to choose from and 10 million charges. So it's a nice class. It's a nice thing to use, and it's a good class so far. Hell Knights, I've been kind of at least the Signifier. As a Signifier, you're supposed to get a mask that you're supposed to be able to wear. It doesn't do anything really super special, but the idea is, the Signifier is supposed to wear this mask. I think it's only supposed to have either 2 eye slits or no eye slits. So, again, it's not anything special there, but they didn't include everything with the Hell Knights, because the thing about Hell Knights is there's no archetypes. They choose orders, though. They have an order they're supposed to join. In this case, Gimpy is Order of the Scourge. And if you read up on this stuff, they're supposed to get additional powers at some point related to their order, but that doesn't seem to happen here. These are all basically, as far as I can tell, are all the same. I think like the armor training, that's all the same. Weapon and armor efficiency, that's the Oracle stuff. Well, that's just basically the Signifier gets it doesn't care that it what is it? You get to keep your spell casting levels, basically what it means. So even though he's an Oracle 7 and a Signifier 3, he still, as far as magic goes, he counts as an Oracle 10 as far as spell selections and how many casts per day and that kind of stuff. It's basically equal to being level 10 for him. So instead of being down here at level 7 as an Oracle, he's actually counted as being a level 10, so he has access to 5th level spells and all this other fun stuff, which is a nice feature for the Hell Knights. But again, they seem to be lacking stuff. I don't know what the deal is there, but it seems not all the way implemented. Hopefully they'll change that. So we'll see. So anyway, that's specific to Gimpy. And as far as the other classes go, Zen Archer is good. It seems like a nice class. It's a monk archer. Lan is a good character for that. We made a little tweaks with him because we add some rogue levels so we can do a little bit more damage, sneak damage. The witches and the shaman, their hexes are awesome. They're really hard to resist in most cases, and they're very effective. And then when you have two people in the same party with that stuff, they can basically tag team people because their hexes stacked with each other. So you can hit Ember can hit somebody with an armor debuff or an AC debuff, and then Camellia can come along and hit them with the same debuff, and it stacks because they're different types of hexes. Hers is charisma based, hers is wisdom based, but they still do the same thing. So it's very nice. And then her, the espionage expert, this is just another ranger class archetype, so that's kind of good. Anyway, overall, like the new races, although I really have any real experience with Damphir, even though that we do have a Kitsune, Nanio, something like that. She's the wizard of the group. She's not in this particular playthrough right now, but I don't think I didn't really look into too much what the race does, but it's basically, a humanoid fox type deal. So that's kind of cool. But the Damphir, it's definitely nice because of the half undead thing. I think they implemented it fairly well, so it's pretty good. And as far as the classes go, again, no real disappointments there yet. And mythic classes, will obviously only have experience with the Lich, and it's not too bad so far. Basically, it's another leveling up system. It's separate from this leveling. You pick up experience here. So as you do your stuff, you pick up experience, level up normally. Mythic Path, you level up based on story progression. As far as I can tell, there's actually no experience really directly related to this. This is all, this is as you progress the story, you get more mythic ranks, and this allows you to do more stuff. Enhance your existing abilities through your normal classes, or pick up new abilities, this kind of thing. So, and again, we're progressing through the Lich thing right at the moment, so not too bad. And then what else? Oh, pets. They introduced pets leveling up. Now, unfortunately, we don't have any pet classes, but the cool part, like this skeletal executioner, this is part of being a Lich. This is Gimpy's pet, basically, for all intents and purposes. It is not leveling up with him. He picked it up at level 9, and it is still level 9. Will it reach level 10? I don't know how it's going to work. Maybe it might be related to when he progresses to the Lich stuff.
My name is Veronica, and welcome to Gimpy's Twitch channel.
We'll let Veronica do her thing.
If you are enjoying what you are watching, please click the follow button in the lower right corner of the video screen. That way you will be notified by Twitch when Gimpy goes live. You can also follow Gimpy over on Twitter at GimpyKnee. He tweets out there when he goes live and will more than likely follow you back. Thank you for watching.
Yep, thank you for watching. Happy Friday. So, again, this is Gimpy's pet skeleton executioner. When he became a Lich, you got a choice of picking 4 different skeletal companions. It was basically this guy, an executioner who's a 2-handed weapon fighter. Another choice was a 2-weapon fighter, 2 single-handed, 2 one-handed weapons, an archer, or a tank. We went with the 2-handed weapon fighter because it fits with the group a little bit better currently, so that's where we went. And of course, the cool part about this, of course, is we can give him equipment. So as we pick up equipment, we can upgrade his stuff. Like he's using this nice little soul shear glaive that we picked up from part of the storyline stuff here, and we upgraded it through story stuff and whatever. So he basically has one of our best weapons, as the skeleton does, because nobody else is really using glaives. Our cleric, Social, who's one of the companions, he uses a glaive, but he's not really in the group that much. So we gave it to the skeleton, and he's wearing armor and amulets and belts and all this other fun stuff. Speaking of, physical mic 2. Where's that other belt we just picked up not too long ago with the 4 strength? We're going to give that to him instead. Where is that? Should be up here. Nope. Just a second. Next oldest. There it is. Okay, so as you can see, we just swapped gear out and you're ready to go. Now this is a dinosaur, which are new animals or pets here in the game as well. Now this is not a real pet though. This is actually a pet from an item that Ember is using. We picked up this Triceratops statuette. Basically, she can summon this Triceratops once per day, and as long as it doesn't die, it's fine. The downside, of course, is that its level is equal to her level minus 4, so it's only level 6. But it still has the ability to use gear. So if we pick up a helmet, cloaks, armor, whatever. Actually, we can actually put armor on this if we could wear it. but apparently it can't have medium armor. So it can't really wear armor. Although it says it's open. Oh, it can wear this. Oh, no, it can't. Damn. Oh, look, it's not highlighted red. That's why I thought he was going to be able to wear it. But it's highlighted red there, or pink, whatever color you want to call it. So, normally, these creatures can wear armor and whatever, but again, this is not a normal pet. This is a pet from an item. However, it still acts like one. And what else? Oh, if we shrink her. Basically, you can ride animals, your pets, if you are small enough to feed on top of them. Okay, there she goes. So shrink her, and then we've got her skeleton, so you can saddle them. So now she's riding the Triceratops. As long as she's small, she can do that. When she goes back to normal size, she's too big to ride him because he's too small. So unless we can, make him bigger, I guess she might be able to ride him a little bit more. So again, now she's walking around on this and all that fun stuff. So again, this is a new thing to the game. There are, of course, classes out there that have their own pets that are a little bit more permanent, more bigger, that kind of stuff, so they can ride those. And those mounts, of course, everybody that can apparently pick up. So again, nice little feature. It's kind of cool. Don't really use it for this group, but it's available to us if we want. Okay, so that's pretty much the new stuff for characters. Now, as far as the story goes, the story's okay. It's pretty straightforward. The general concept is the demons were at the World Wound, which is where the demons have broken the wall between the prime material plane and the abyss, and they're invading. They have been for over 100 years or something like that. And the people of this world have managed to fight them back over and over, but they're losing ground, this kind of stuff. And then we come along and things are happening. We've been blessed, so to speak. We don't know by who yet, officially. We believe it's Iomade, which is the god that is, pretty much responsible for fighting against this invasion of the demons. That's a general premise, is that we think that's the person that's granting us this extra power that we're picking up for the mythic classes and whatever. And we're just progressing through the story there, fighting the demons, that kind of stuff. I guess I should move out so we can show the next portion. Can we get up there? Okay. Okay, let's get out of here. We're done. So, going outside, and the story again, it's Pathfinder. It's a Dungeons and Dragons stuff. You go through. We started off, basically, kicking the demons out of the first city we started in, which was way down over here, Canabras. Did the intro stuff. Basically, this is the intro area in the city. We went through all this, and then we've expanded out. We're now the leader, the Knight Commander of the Crusade. So we're basically responsible for telling the armies what to do, where to fight, who to fight, that kind of stuff. How many recruits we need, or who we need to recruit. Collecting money and resources and stuff in order to increase the armies. So this is the Crusader mode, Army Management mode. I don't know what the actual technical name of it is, because it doesn't say up here. But you're allowed to have different armies. This is our main army currently, made up of undead. That because Gimpy is a lich, every time we kill enough enemies, we pick up more zombies and skeletons to make the army a little bit bigger, and then we can recruit different types of units based on what we're able to recruit. This is the recruitment screen. These are the, up here in the left hand corner, these are the troops that we are training back at our home base at Dresden, which is a big fortress. We pick up so many per week. As you can see, we're picking up 12 mounted scouts and 6 champions and 20 marksmen every week. We still have to hire them and pay them in that sense. And then once we hire them, we can throw them into the different armies as long as the army's in the right place, basically Dresden, do that kind of stuff. And then we can also hire mercenaries. And you can only hire so many per week. And if you hire them more than once, or you want to hire more than once, it increases the price. Like we hired clerics earlier in the week, and now their price has gone way up to 13,000 for the next batch. They were only like 5,000 or 6,000 for the first, so it's a pretty big jump. And then we have generals that lead the armies. These guys, they level up just like your characters do, but a little differently. When they do level up, you get to pick new abilities for them based on what their class is. Like this guy's a spellcaster, so you get to pick spells of different types, or skills, or whatever you want to call them, abilities that complement their magic stuff. And also it allows them to, what's the other one? There's one of these skills that you pick up that increases how many units you can have in an army. Normally you start with 3, and then as you level up, you can get up to 4 currently. So we're at 4 or 4, stuff like that. You move around on the map too. Basically, their only real job is to basically clear out or fight the various demon armies out there at different strengths. You can look at them, see what's currently made up of. Fire elementals, earth elementals, cultists, that kind of stuff. Giant spiders. And then every so often, we have armies that are coming in that are trying to get to Dresden, because we took Dresden back something like 70 years ago in the story. The demons came in and took the city or fortress of Dresden, which is here. And then because of this story, we came in, we take it back. And now the demons are trying to take it back again. So every so often, they're sending these armies in. This is the current one. This is a level 6 army, made up of Namasu demons and some undead, because that's what they specialize in. So they're sending this way to come take Dresden. And because of the direction they're coming, they're going to be coming up this pathway here. And this is one of our outposts. So they're going to run into this outpost, try to take that, and then move on to Dresden. So our job with our armies is to make sure they don't do that. So worry about that. Now, as far as, is this a good implementation for this? People are going to give different opinions, of course. My general opinion is it's very similar to Heroes of Might and Magic, if you ever played that. The general idea is, you're moving your armies around, building up your cities for resources and that kind of thing to make your army stronger. It's not unique to Heroes of Magic, of Heroes of Might and Magic, but it's, that's the genre basically it comes from. It's simplified. It's not super complicated, which I think helps it, because if it was any more complicated, I think you'd spend too much time doing this portion of the game. It's not that it's bad. It's just that it's not the main focus of the game. The main focus is, of course, your main character, the companions, and working through the storyline this way. This is kind of just like a side game. It's like side quest type stuff. It's not bad. Like I said, building up your armies is interesting enough. Fighting the battles is kind of blah, mainly because, again, it's simplified. It's very simplified. And unfortunately, we're not close enough anything to show it off. But basically, you get put on this big grid. Your armies are placed down, and you go against the other armies, and you just move forward, click on somebody to attack them. Your general has abilities that you can use that eat up. This is the number down here. This is how much mana you have basically to spend on spells and abilities, that kind of stuff for the general. So you can use those to, do damage to the enemies or buff your own people, debuff them, that kind of stuff. But it's very simplified. It's mainly you just move your unit to go attack somebody else. You just move them, click on them. That's it. There's no flanking, meaning that, say you have somebody coming in from the front, and you have somebody coming in from the side or behind. There's no advantage to doing that. It's just like a regular attack. However, there are some units that actually do have flanking attacks, like rogues, I think. There's a type of unit called rogues, I think it's what it's called. And they actually do get flanking attacks. I don't have any, so I don't know how it works, but nobody else has that. And it seems to be a feature that should be actually built into the game. And then some of the fights get too long, too, because some of these units are just really tough on the hit points. Like these skeletons crumble pretty quick. Zombies are more tanky with the 90 hit points compared to 23. Then we have the vampires with these guys. But even these guys can get crushed pretty quick against big enough units. But not a big deal, because you can heal them, bring them back, that kind of stuff. You have range units. Again, it's kind of, and some units have damage resist, damage reduction like the vampires do, so they don't take as much damage when they get hit, unless the unit, of course, is big enough to do, work their way through that, that kind of stuff. So, again, it's a simplified system. It's not super complicated, and I think it's a good thing that it's not. I know some people are going to say they'd like a little bit more complexity to it, but I think in the end, I think it's working right now. And again, people are going to have different experiences and different opinions, and that's fine. That's just the way it is. And again, I'm not disappointed with it. I know it could be better, but again, I understand this is not the main focus of the game. This red tag up here, that's not the focus. It's this that's the focus of the game, and this is the part that's supposed to shine. And right now, it's pretty decent. They're still doing bug fixes on a regular basis. I think they did actually just had a bug fix early this morning. I think they had one early this week as well. And by bug fixes, it's just they put out the list of stuff they changed or updated and fixed and that kind of stuff. And they've been doing that since the release, of course, which of course we knew was going to happen. And in reality, it's much better than Kingmaker by a long shot. And the fixes came through a little bit faster as far. Like when I first started playing this on the 3rd, I was having issues with crashes. The game was crashing like 2 or 3 times every couple hours. And within a week, they had patched it, and I haven't had a crash since. So that's pretty good. There are definitely memory leaks though, because the longer you play, the more the game tends to slow down. I'm still noticing some graphic issues here and there, basically tearing. If you're not familiar with that, it basically looks like graphics get stretched and that kind of thing. Run into that every now and then. Again, usually as the longer you play the game is when that stuff normally starts showing up, and you fix it just by restarting the game. So not hard to fix as far as our end of things, but it is stuff that still needs to be addressed, and they're addressing stuff as they go. So they can't fix everything at once, but they're still making progress, which is good. So what else? I think that's it. Oh, I take that back. The other thing, they need to actually, explain how to do stuff a little bit more for the army management, because it's not real clear on what how you're supposed to build the cities and stuff. They tell you, okay, you're going to build stuff here and whatever, but they don't really explain. There's no real tutorial on what to do. Like, did you know that unless you build these specific buildings, you're not going to have anybody to recruit as far as trainable things like archers and marksmen and all this other fun stuff that we have currently listed? We had to build buildings for this. There's no tutorial to explain this to you. It's just like they just throw you into it and go, good luck. So they could use a little bit more work there, but there's enough people. Luckily, as a streamer, people come in and go, did you know you can do this, this, and this, which is helpful. But the typical person, unless they're really paying attention to how things are going, aren't going to know that, or unless they do the research. So is that a big deal? Kinda, I think. They should have done, there's no real tutorial on what to do here. Did they do one in Kingmaker? Kinda, not really. Even in Kingmaker, the whole kingdom management thing was really basic. But that is something they could definitely, and by they, I mean Owlcat, they need to, flesh that out a little bit better, be a little bit more detail and explain what to do, because it's not real clear, in all honesty. But the whole, recruiting of armies, it's not real clear. And how do you get your recruits? Oh, she can't show this here. These guys, like, for a while, it was like, why am I not getting any of these guys up here? And it's like, you're supposed to get them every week. And I know it had gone over a week and we had no new guys to recruit. And it was like, oh, I didn't build the right buildings. I didn't have the right buildings to recruit these guys. That's why I wasn't getting any. I was getting mercenaries, but I wasn't getting the trainable guys, these guys. And, again, that comes down to Owlcat not doing a proper tutorial to explain how this all works. It was more of a, oh, by the way, here you go. So something that could be worked on, but not a game breaker, I would say. Just a little disappointing. Not a big deal. Anyway, overall, I like the game, obviously. I'm over 100 hours into it. plan to put another 100 at least into it, depending on how long ever it takes. We are going to finish it someday. But yeah, it's good. I'm enjoying it. Again, they're fixing the bugs. Hopefully the improvements come after that. After they get the game a little bit more stable, a little bit more fixed, they can work on maybe doing a tutorial for the army management stuff. There's some other stuff that needs to be taken a look at and that kind of thing. But I think they're doing okay. They did really well with Kingmaker. Kingmaker was a mess when it came out, and now today it's a great game. It's just great because I've had so much time to put into it, especially with all the DLCs that came out with it too. So hopefully we go down that same path here, and they have this game up and running the way it should be running. I mean, again, it's not perfect, but it's definitely good. And if you like this type of game, again, this is Dungeons & Dragons, classic stuff, turn-based strategy, whatever you want to call it, tactics. It's a good game, and definitely having fun with it. So anyway, that's that. So